Hey kids, good afternoon to you. We're going to review a song today called Deedle Deedle. You should remember that from a few months ago. It goes like this. Deedle deedle dumpling, my son John went to bed with his stockings on. One shoe off and one shoe on. Deedle deedle dumpling, my son John. We do a foot jive. So if you know what a hand jive is, when we kind of do this kind of stuff with our hands. A jive is a dance, so if we can dance with our hands, we can also dance with our feet. So we're going to do the foot jive in just a little bit, and it wears you out. Whew, you'll get tired pretty quick. All right, we're going to figure out Deedle Deedle Dumpling, my son John. How many beats is that? Deedle Deedle Dumpling, my son John. It's 4 beats, and we're going to figure out all of the rhythms for each beat. So I'm going to put 4 big blanks on my iPad. Okay, there's my 4 big beats. So now let's write the words down. We're going to go backwards. What happens on the last beat? Deedle deedle dumpling, my son John. It's the word John. What happens on this beat? Deedle deedle dumpling, my son John. So it's 2 words, right? My son. What about on this beat? Deedle deedle dumpling, my son John. Dumpling. And what happens on the first beat? Deedle deedle dumpling, my son John. It's deedle deedle. So like I said, we're going to go backwards, and we're going to start with this last beat. How many sounds is John? 1 sound on 1 beat. So remember, 1 sound on 1 beat, we call it ta, and a ta is the same thing as a quarter note. So quarter note looks like this, and it's colored in. It has 1 stem, it's 1 beat, and you say ta. Now, how many sounds is my son? It's 2 sounds. So what do you call 2 sounds on 1 beat? Should be TT. So TT looks like this, and they are 2 eighth notes joined. And if you remember, another way to draw eighth notes is separated, so they'll have little flags. They're still colored in because they're still short sounds, but now they have flags. Those are still eighth notes. They're still TT, but they look different now. Ta gets 1 beat, but now we have 2 sounds on 1 beat. So now we have divided ta in half. So what is a half of 1? It's a half. So eighth notes each get a half a beat apiece. Now let's go back and analyze dumpling. How many sounds is dumpling? It's 2 sounds, so that's going to be another TT. So here's another TT. And now, how many sounds is deedle deedle? Ooh, deedle deedle. That's 4 sounds. Do we know 4 sounds on 1 beat? We haven't done that one in a very long time. And we didn't have any of that for our recorders, did we? So, if we have 1 sound, quarter note, ta, then we cut that in half, and we end up with 2 eighth notes. Then we cut that in half. We're going to have 16th notes next. And 16th notes cannot look like this because those look like 4 eighth notes. So we're going to add another bar across the top. And now to tap this, we're going to say ticka ticka. So here's my 16th notes, ticka ticka. And they each get a quarter, 1/4 of a beat a piece, because we keep cutting everything in half. So if you'll remember, 1 quarter note, we cut that in half, and we end up with 2 eighth notes, and we cut that in half, and then we end up with a 16th note, and now we have 2 flags. If we have 1 16th note by itself, it's going to have 2 little flags. Can you see that pretty good? So let's go back up and add our 16th notes. Ticka, ticka. And you can play that on any instrument that you have at home. So if you have rhythm sticks, that can be wooden spoons, it can be pencils, markers, whatever you have that you can tap. If you have a drum, that means you have either a bucket or a box, something that you can hit. Okay? All right, so the quickest, easiest thing that I could find was my little tambourine that I have over here. And so we're going to go ticka, ticka, tee, 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 ta. And if you don't have anything, you can just do your trusty drum and mallet with me. Ready, set, and here you go. Ticka, ticka, tee, 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 ta. Okay, a little faster. Ready, go. Ticka, ticka, tee, 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 ta. Little faster. Ready, go. Ticka, ticka, tee, 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 ta. Awesome. Now stand up and let's try the foot jive together. Let's see if you remember the foot jive. Ready? Try it with me. So you go front to back, side to side, crisscross, feet together. Front to back, side to side, crisscross, feet together. Front to back, side to side, crisscross, feet together. Deedle, deedle, dumpling, my son John went to bed with the stockings on. One shoe off and one shoe on. Deedle, deedle, dumpling, my son John. Now try double time. Ready? Front to back, side to side, crisscross, feet together. Front to back, side to side, crisscross, feet together. Front to back, side to side, crisscross, feet together. Front to back, side to side, crisscross, feet together. Deedle, deedle, dumpling, my son John went to bed with the stockings on. One shoe off and one shoe on. Deedle, deedle, dumpling, my son John. Whew. Are you tired now? Because I'm tired. So I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. Goodbye, students. Later, Gators.